Welcome to the deep dive. We're the place you come to, sift through all the noise, stack up the sources, and really find those insights you need to be, well, genuinely well informed. Today, we're diving into a pretty extraordinary property. It's at 64145 Hunnell Road in Bend, Oregon. But this isn't just us looking at a listing sheet. No, our sources are actually packed with the seller's own thoughts, what they really love about living there, and crucially, all the big, thoughtful improvements they've put into it. So, our mission today, let's figure out what makes this place an unparalleled estate, as they call it. How does it manage to balance that luxury feel with serious functionality and still feel so connected to nature? We want to give you that shortcut, get you right to the heart of what makes this place special, straight from the people who know it best.
And just to set the stage with the basics, we're talking about a combined living space of 4,123 square feet. That's between the main house and the guest area and the shop. And it sits on a really substantial 9.46 acre lot. The list price is $2,390,000.
So,
But our goal here is really to help you see the value that goes way beyond those numbers, the subtle things.
okay, let's unpack this then. The seller used this phrase that really caught my eye, high-end glamping. That sounds interesting, right? Almost like a contradiction. What does that actually mean in practice? Living somewhere that feels wild, but, still connected and luxurious.
Yeah, and this is where hearing directly from the seller is so helpful. They literally said, "We love that we don't see any other buildings or evidence of humanity from our home. The mountain views are soothing, and we feel like we were doing high-end glamping." When I first read glamping, my mind went to like a fancy tent somewhere. But then you see panoramic Cascade Mountain views, 9.46 acres, and it starts to make sense, like curated wilderness, maybe not exactly roughing. How do you see that? That's exactly it. That phrase, high-end glamping, it's not just fluff. It's rooted in the actual features. You get this huge 9.46 acre lot that's over 412,000 square feet, just massive space. Combine that with those panoramic mountain views, you immediately get that sense of privacy, that connection to nature they're talking about. And the zoning is key too. It's MUA 10.
MUA 10, what's that mean?
Mixed use agricultural with a 10-acre minimum lot size. So it ensures your space, but also protects the area around you from getting too built up. It preserves that secluded feeling. So it really delivers on that promise, tranquility, seclusion, but with a definite luxury feel.
Okay, but that feeling of being out in the wild, doesn't that usually come at the cost of convenience? How do they square that circle here? Being isolated, but also, able to get groceries easily.
Well, that's what's pretty remarkable about the location. You get that deep nature immersion, feeling totally away from it all. Yet the seller points out they're only 15 minutes to downtown Bend, which is, a really vibrant town.
Right, lots going on there.
Exactly. And they say it's central for exploring sisters in Redmond, too. Plus, the airport, less than 20 minutes away.
That's incredibly convenient.
It really is. And even day-to-day stuff, like the new Costco and gas station nearby.
Yeah.
They mention that as a big practical plus. So it manages to bridge that gap. You get the escape without the usual hassles of being remote.
It definitely sounds like they found a sweet spot, a sanctuary that's also really practical. Okay, let's shift focus now to the main house itself. This is where you actually live day to day. It's a single-level home built in 2003. It's got 3 beds, 3 baths, plus an office. Nice size, 2,683 square feet. So what does this actually mean for you, living there? The sellers shared some personal things they love, and these are often the details that really resonate. Like they mentioned the hot tub. It's just steps outside of the main primary bedroom suite, right off the deck, easy access for a soak. And then in winter, they talked about enjoying a nice fire in the bedroom fireplace stove. Cozying up. These aren't just features on a list, are they? They're part of a lifestyle they've cultivated.
Precisely. And when you look at the money they invested, specifically in those comforts, it shows how intentional they were. That list of improvements they provided, it totals $173,100 just between 2016 and 2024.
Wow, that's significant.
It is. And look, the hot tub and the concrete pad it sits on, that was $30,000 back in 2021. The gas fireplace stove in the primary bedroom, another $6,000. These aren't afterthoughts. They're deliberate choices to make that primary suite a real retreat year-round, indoor and outdoor. That's a mark of true luxury living, integrating the experience, not just adding amenities.
And that attention to detail, it seems like it runs through the whole house, right? They didn't just stop with the relaxing stuff. They put in hardwood floors throughout, refinished the existing ones too. That was $20,000 back in 2016. Shows long-term thinking.
Foundational quality.
Then new appliances, fridge, washer, dryer, dishwasher. Looks like over $8,000 combined there for modern efficiency. Little comfort things too. 2 toilet bidets, $2,000. New shower heads, $1,200. Even a new kitchen faucet, $1,000. Small things, but they add up to a feeling of completeness.
Yeah, move-in ready in the truest sense.
And the kitchen is described as state-of-the-art with granite and a marble island. Plus, they wired the great room for sound, a $10,000 upgrade in 2019, ready for entertaining.
You know, what's really fascinating when you look at all these upgrades together, it's how holistic their approach was. It wasn't just the visible things, the aesthetics. They invested heavily in the bones of the house, too.
Like what specifically?
Well, a new furnace and AC system in 2021, that's a big one, $21,000.
Okay.
And a whole house air purification system the same year, another $3,000. They even reconfigured the water supply to the house for better output, $3,000.
Okay, yeah. Those are serious infrastructure improvements, not just cosmetic.
Exactly. They focused on efficiency, air quality, core system reliability. That's huge underlying value for a buyer. Peace of mind, lower running costs, better living environment, stuff you don't always see on the surface.
It sounds like the main house is incredibly well sorted, but what makes this property really stand out is, well, everything else, those outbuildings. Let's talk about those because they seem to open up so many possibilities. The sellers sound really enthusiastic about them. They say, this is a great property to host holidays or parties we've done so many times. And also, this is a great property to have a serious hobby because of the shop. We've had many. So it's clearly built for more than just living. It's for doing, creating, hosting. How often do you see outbuildings that are that integrated and functional?
It's definitely a standout feature, not just a shed out back.
Right. So let's break it down. The shop itself, 1,920 square feet, built in 2001. It's got a 14-foot high RV garage door, 38 feet deep. That's serious space for vehicles, projects, whatever. Then above that shop, there's the guest quarters, 1,440 square feet.
Wow, that's like a whole separate apartment.
Pretty much. It has 3 rooms. They mention no closets, so super flexible. Could be bedrooms, offices, studios, plus a full bath, living room, and kitchen. And there's more space below the main shop level. They call it a great flex space. Office, gym, hobby cave, you name it. And it even has its own laundry and another full bath with a shower.
Okay, so when you put all that together, it's way more than just a garage with a room above it. This functions as a full accessory dwelling unit, an ADU, plus this incredible workshop space.
Right.
Think about the possibilities. Hosting extended family, running a home business, renting it out, having an amazing dedicated hobby space. It covers all those bases. And again, the improvements show they treated it seriously. Recirculating hot water pipes throughout the shop, instant hot water even out there.
Nice touch.
Improved insulation in the pole barn wall, $3,000. And crucial for today, Wi-Fi hardwired to the barn, full $1,000.
Absolutely essential now.
Yeah, these details show they wanted these spaces to be just as comfortable and usable as the main house. It makes a whole property feel cohesive.
And the modern touches don't stop there. Outside, there's dedicated RV storage, big bonus for travelers. And for EV owners, a Tesla charger, installed just last year, 2023, costs $1,650.
Keeping up with the times.
Definitely. And perhaps the biggest sign of forward thinking, solar power on the pole barn. That was installed in 2018, a $35,000 investment.
That's a major commitment to sustainability and potentially lower energy bills.
Yeah.
It really adds another layer of value.
So when you step back, it makes you think, how does a place like this manage to offer such intense privacy, but also be set up so well for potentially lots of people and activity?
It's that strategic planning, isn't it? The layout, the features, they allow for both solitude and community, serious work and serious play all on one property. It's designed for a really versatile lifestyle. And they even mentioned dog-loving neighbors and dogs running free without fences. That hints at a certain community vibe, too, alongside the privacy.
Yeah, specific kind of relaxed, trusting neighborhood feel, maybe.
Exactly. It feels very intentional, curated. That unparalleled estate description feels earned.
Okay, let's quickly touch on some of the maybe smaller details that still add up. Things that show ongoing care, like a roof de-icer, $1,000. Smart for snowy winters. A new glass shower surround in one of the primary baths, $7,750. Keeps things feeling fresh and modern. Fancy halogen track lighting in the living room, $9,000 in 2021. That affects the whole mood of the space. Even a raised garden bed for $1,000, nice touch for outdoor living.
And what's striking is just how comprehensive all these upgrades are, big and small.
Hmm.
It's not like they just did the kitchen and forgot everything else. They touched almost every aspect. Think about this. The entire exterior of all the buildings was repainted in 2021. That cost $15,000.
That's a big job, keeping everything looking sharp and protected.
It really demonstrates that consistent long-term care. It means the next owner isn't walking into a bunch of deferred maintenance projects. It's truly ready to go. The value in that is immense.
And one last modern necessity, connectivity. They use Starlink for internet. Only a $400 setup, cost noted, but crucial for getting high-speed internet in a place that feels potentially remote.
Right. So when you add it all up, all these details, minor and major, they paint a picture of a property that's been meticulously cared for. No corners cut. Everything focused on enhancing livability, functionality, and durability. That translates into real substantial value for whoever lives there next. It's far more than just square footage and acreage.
So wrapping up our deep dive on 64145 Hunnell Road in Bend, what we've uncovered is, well, a truly remarkable estate. It manages this incredible blend, serene natural beauty, that high-end glamping vibe, but also modern luxury, serious functionality, and surprisingly easy access to everything Bend offers, a rare combination.
It really is. And that leads us to a final thought for you, our listener, to mull over. We've seen this detailed list of improvements over $173,000 worth. We've heard the seller's own words about the features they love and appreciate, their clear emotional connection to the place. So what is that level of personal investment, that deep care and affection poured into a property? Tell us about the real value of a home, something beyond just the market price or the specs on a page. How might understanding that love, that meticulous attention from previous owners, shape how you search for your own perfect place to live? Something to think about.